Chicka bow. Should I do like a sound effect or something?
You want to do a sound effect?
Sound check. Sound check.
But what should it be, though?
Recording, speeding, and
Action.
action.
All right, welcome everybody to the first THM McFly podcast, where we talk about movies and filmmaking and whatever else we think about when we're having a beer talking with each other. I'm your host, Kevin Lyons, and with me are the THM McFly co-founders, Daniel Sangre.
That's me, Daniel Sangre.
That is
That is me.
I think we need to
That
say your
is
name
me.
one more time, Daniel
Sangre.
Daniel Sangre, and Anton Gaskell.
I'm Anton.
Yeah.
The usual.
Yeah.
Do you just go by Anton?
I just go by Anton.
Like
There's
a
no
true
Gaskell.
artist.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this podcast is basically if you want to learn how to do filmmaking or if you just love movies. This episode we're going to be talking about how we came together and started deciding to start making our own movies because we were sick of trying to work for everybody else. And our thoughts on some modern movies that have just come out. So I guess there's only one thing left to do.
Yeah, Dan, turn it on.
Turn it on.
Turn it on.
All right, guys, we got to cheers.
All right.
before every
Let's cheers.
podcast. Cheers. Today's beer of the day is 805,
8:05.
8:05.
which is the area code in Santa Barbara.
Well,
you know.
guys, today is a very important day why we started our podcast. This is our first episode that we're doing, and today has some historical significance. It is November 5th. And if you're a Back to the Future fan, you know that's when Doc invented time travel, November 5th, 1955. And it just almost like we got all the equipment ready just for November 5th, and it happened to be November 5th, so it just feels right. So,
And I'm wearing a Back to the Future shirt.
and you are wearing a Back to the Future shirt. It's a nice time machine shirt.
You can't see it, but hopefully you can hear it.
You can hear it. We can hear it. We can hear the turbine engine as the flux capacitor.
I might be wrong, but didn't we shoot Torture in November too?
I think
No,
it
we
was
shot that in December.
But we got together in
Yeah,
December.
we formed Too High McFly on in November.
On November.
In November, I don't know if it
Yeah.
was November 5th, but
No,
but
but
it's
it was
on November 2015
15.
no,
or 14?
it was 14.
14.
It was 14, 2014.
Oh,
3
wow.
years now, Dan. Come on.
3 years.
Well, 3 years that we did Too High McFly, but we've known each other for about 8 years, right?
Yeah,
Or
8 years.
7 years. We got
7,
we
8
met
years.
each other
yeah?
in 2010.
Yeah.
We were working on the movie Undelivered.
Yeah, we did.
is
That
still
was in
not
January.
delivered.
It's still not delivered, but it was fun making that
Lived
movie.
up to its name.
It did. But it was actually like a semi-big production for like a little independent like film crew.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
we filmed for like a week straight.
We did a whole feature, man.
You know, we did most of a feature and had to reshoot
Yeah,
most of it
that's
like
true.
a year later.
That's true.
But that's some of the things that happens in filmmaking. I mean, like you're always learning with filmmaking, but
what he
you go.
said.
exactly what I said.
Yeah.
But it was just like that's the most important part about if you want to start getting into filmmaking is you have to find the right people to work with.
Yeah.
People like you can't just like pull people out of nowhere and just hope that all of your ideas work together. And it's just great to like we've been best friends for like 7-8 years.
Yeah, man,
This is
it's been that
great.
long.
It's like BFF.
Yeah, and what's crazy is that we haven't had any breakups in between.
No,
you know
we
what I
didn't.
mean? We don't get sick of each other.
No, we don't. That's
Yeah.
why we want to do this podcast because we're always just hanging around talking about movies anyway. So we've known each other for 8 years and we've always wanted to be in filmmaking. So let's like you always need to be inspired to do filmmaking. It's not something you just decide to just start doing and then hopefully you'll learn a formula. You have to love movies. So Dan, what got you into filmmaking?
Man, it's got to just be movies in general. I know that sounds so cliche, right? I mean, you expect it, but I just watching movies, man. Watching Star Wars, watching Jurassic Park. A lot of Spielberg is what got me inspired.
Dude.
of like,
We were Spielberg
dude,
kids.
I want to do that. We were totally Spielberg kids,
Guys are
man.
Spielberg kids.
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Everybody's a Spielberg kid.
Everybody's a Spielberg kid, man.
Well, it's deservedly so. He
He's a
made
man
fucking
of the
fantastic
generation.
movies.
Yeah, he was.
It like just started the creative engine inside of every little kid. Like they would see these movies, these Steven Spielberg movies, and they would just take them on this adventure that they feel like they could be a part
and
of.
it feels so relatable, and it feels like he takes a normal person and
Yeah.
puts them in an extraordinary situation.
Those are the
like
best
E.T., like,
movies, man.
Yes, man.
Back to the Future,
Back
even
to
though
the
he didn't direct
Future.
it, but he produced it.
Yeah, he did.
So
and
what-
Animaniacs.
And
I love Animaniacs.
they should take Jaws and make it an animated series, like a fun fucking
funny.
Quint and Jaws, just like out in the ocean just causing trouble. That'd be
Causing
fucking
legal
funny.
trouble. He's a real shark.
Always causing trouble.
Yeah. But what about you, Anton? What was the movies that just like you just had to start making movies?
Well, it's different for me because I wanted to become an animator first.
Okay.
And then in the process of becoming an animator, I discovered that I don't really like I liked animation, but I actually like directing animation more. You know what I'm saying? And but I was born in the 70s, so I have more movies that I kind of looked up to a lot more, more than Spielberg, because there's
Mean Streets, Scorsese stuff.
There's Coppola.
Coppola's
There's Lucas, of course, even though he's not the best director, but he is a great creator.
good story.
There is who's the guy that directed Dune?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
De
yeah.
Laurentiis or something like that.
I never watched Dune. I watched part of it with my dad when I was back home in Boston. We were flipping through the movie stations and we landed on Dune. And he's like, "You got to watch this." I'm like, "Well, what is it?" He goes, "It was supposed to be just as big as Star Wars." And I'm watching it. I'm like, I didn't really
Dune
like
was
it.
David
It looked kind of
David
ridiculous.
Lynch, yeah.
Yeah, David Lynch.
But
Lynch.
produced by De Laurentiis, right? But what got me is when I was a kid, back I was 7 years old, I saw a making of Dune. And that just blew my mind.
That's cool, man.
It's like having the behind the scenes, the special features part, which you don't see back then in the 80s. You just saw
Wait, they had special features back then? That's how you...
No, it's not special features. It's a show called Movie Magic.
Oh, it was like a documentary.
It's like a 30-minute TV show that highlights the most current movies, and they were
So basically, what our podcast is back then in the 70s.
But they were showcasing what you see in normal DVD extras, but back then they don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to watch a show about it, and which is called Movie Magic. And I saw back them making Dune. They were putting people on wires for them to fly behind massive sets and stuff like that. And Dune was a big production.
That's cool. Now that you say that, I remember before there were bonus features on everything. You saw the making of everything, but even before that, they did have those HBO would be here's how they made the Ninja Turtles movie. I remember being so stoked when I saw how the Jim Henson crew built the talking heads for the Ninja Turtle
Labyrinth
costume.
had one of those too.
It's just it was your first pull back the curtain, here's how we make the movies, and it makes you feel inspired to just go oh man, I want to do that. I want that experience. I want to get my friends together and just make a fucking badass awesome movie.
Because everybody always assumed it's Star Wars or Indiana Jones you know what I'm saying? But I didn't see the making of Star Wars back then. The one thing that I saw the making of is Dune, so that's what got
Dune
me
was good.
behind the scenes.
And what was it about that? Was there anything specific
Just
about
the
that?
costumes and just how you see these characters that you enjoyed watching in just regular form.
Yeah.
Talking to people and just joking around, and then back then when you watch Dune, you have these shields, and then when they made that, she's man, that's freaking cool. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I guess Dune is what got me into filmmaking.
And before that, you were doing animation.
And I was drawing since I was a
drawing.
kid. Yeah,
so you have a good eye on how to put a subject in perspective, especially with drawing, because that's
not back then though. I developed.
Well, that's how you wouldn't you say that's the first
Stick figures
step
evolved.
in filmmaking?
Yeah,
is
drawing
learn
robots.
learning how to
freaking-
frame something, learning how to draw a picture, how to tell a story.
You know what's funny? I don't think I ever learned how to frame. I just kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
It's how you figure out perspective.
Yes.
Some people, you have to teach perspective, but for some reason you just kind of know it at the back of your head.
You have an eye for it.
That's when you know that you have this organic talent. You know what I mean? Because with writing, they could only teach you formulas on this is how to properly tell a story, but they can't teach you how to come up with a creative idea. And where to come up with an original concept. You can't teach that. That just comes
that's
natural.
all your imagination.
That's all your imagination. So
So say if somebody has never done any type of filmmaking or anything, but they have that passion, what would you suggest the first step that they do
Dude, they got to tap into their childhood, like, because that's the first stuff that I started creating was stuff that I came up with as a kid. That stuff was fun, man, because it's like that's what got me so interested in movies and became obsessed with it, is because I wanted to see stuff that in my little head at the time.
Yeah, you got to figure out what you like and make what you like.
Yes, exactly.
And what makes you happy.
Like, what was cool is, like, when I was growing up in my neighborhood, it was almost like the Goonies neighborhood. We had that, like, Stranger Things, like the group of friends that all lived close together. And one of my friend's mom had, like, the camcorder, the VHS camcorder.
See, I didn't have that when I was a kid. That's why I drew.
Yeah. Well, I always used to draw too, but it was
Yeah.
just so cool. Like, that's like what kickstarted my imagination, because we'd always run around the neighborhood and we'd make these movies. We had we made a bunch of these movies. It was called The Strangler, and
What are you strangling?
it was just a strangler. And my mom used to work at a deli, and she had like this big deli like fucking lab coat thing, and that's what my next door neighbor, that like my friend Dave, he would wear that, and he would just go around strangling. The stories were awful. I mean, we were like little kids.
I hear The Strangler, and I think it's like a masturbatory. That's what I'm saying when you hear The Strangler. That's what your mom, Kevin, let's end with The Strangler. Mom, give me 5 more minutes.
You got to strangle that force dick.
Strangle that force.
Oh man, but the thing is that's what you kind of need. You have to tap into that type of mentality. You're right, like reaching into your childhood and finding that creative drive. It's just like, let's go make a movie where there's no boundaries for you. You don't need a budget. You got a camera and friends, and you can make an awesome movie.
Especially when you get older, because as you get older, you start realizing, like young kids, for instance, are watching the new, Captain America movie. They watch these new superhero movies, and it's just fun action superhero movies.
Yeah.
Us as adults are realizing, nope, Marvel has their formula. This is phase 1. This is phase 2. Kids don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
So we start seeing the corporate side of things as you start getting older. But as a kid, that was the fun part. You don't worry about your inciting incident at 15 minutes. You just had fun telling a story.
Absolutely.
Remember, we were kids when Star Wars came out. When all those great movies come out.
Oh yeah, we grew up
Park,
in like the best time, man.
The renaissance of freaking Hollywood.
Dude, Jurassic Steven Spielberg.
Yeah,
We're talking about
man.
Steven Spielberg again. We just go back to him. But seeing Jurassic Park for the first time as a kid, it's just like it took you out of whatever venue you were watching it in, and you were at Jurassic Park.
I saw it at a drive-in.
Yeah, that's how I saw it too. We had drive-in, man.
The
drive-in was the best place.
Yeah, so when you're there and you hear the little speaker vibrating and you're in the car and with the big old T-Rex getting on the car, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Ripple and then like the glass.
I was in the car feeling that. I was like, this is so amazing.
Yeah, we were at the Menden Drive-In back east, and like what was cool about that drive-in was it's set in the woods. And like the first like couple of rows was all like grass, and my dad would always, like, for some reason, my dad was very strict with us, but when it came to like showing me movies, he wanted to make sure I had the best movie viewing experience, man. He used to get us there super early. We get right in front, and we were like surrounded by all these trees looking at this giant screen, and it was like kind of windy that night, and the T-Rex, like I thought dinosaurs were gonna come running out of the woods and get us, man. That's like that's what that movie did to us.
Backlit woods right there.
So it's so I guess it's very important just to be able to tap into that childhood creativity, inspiration from movies in order to start movie making. But you got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere.
It's
either drawing that first character,
drawing some pictures,
or
just using your smartphone.
Dude,
I
these
mean,
days, kids have it so easy. There's YouTube. You can.
You sound so old right now because old people used to say that to us.
Yeah, I know.
But it's true though.
Yeah.
They do have it so easy.
We didn't have fucking smartphones when we were in high school or grade
could
school.
you
That we
imagine?
could just make our mini movies.
Dude, they got video editing apps on your phone.
Yeah.
You could
Exactly.
literally film something on your phone and then edit it and like put it out there and distribute it all on your phone.
Like
in
And
10
YouTube,
minutes.
is free film school, man.
Yes,
you
dude.
you go on YouTube, you can find
learn
information on how to
anything,
do anything.
not just YouTube, just whole internet.
Yeah.
Well, you can just learn how they do it, because like there's a million ways to do
Camera
anything.
gear is so cheap now.
Yeah.
So cheap.
Yeah.
It's like back in the 90s, you have to actually process film.
No, I know, man. And they had the canisters and everything. You couldn't expose
that's why
it to
it's
the
so
sun.
hard for anybody, the normal person, to make a movie. All you got is that like VHS camcorder that you like rewind and edit. Like you edit.
did
in
You
that.
have to
camera.
edit
That's
it
how
as
I
you're
did it.
recording
Yeah.
it,
Yes.
because there's no editing bay for your
No.
fucking VHS.
And I didn't even
back
have
in the
that when I
80s.
was like
Oh,
younger.
dude. One of the ones that I recorded on mine was called the teleporter.
Oh, that sounds way better than the Strangler.
So this dude was like about a guy and his roommate, and him getting pissed off at his roommate because his roommate could just fucking disappear and then reappear somewhere else. So he grabbed the last beer. He come in. The dude mentioned about rent. he was gone. He's in the bathroom. You're walking to try to take a dump, and the dude's already in there, and it's like, fuck.
Oh man, dude, that sounds really fun.
It was pretty funny.
Oh man, maybe we should do a shared universe of the Strangler and the teleporter.
Just happened. It's now official canon.
Yes.
We're confirming it.
Teleporting strangler.
The teleporting strangler. So he teleports and just masturbates in other people's fucking bathrooms.
Where are you getting masturbating from?
He's a strangler. He strangles cocks, either himself or somebody
Dan's
else's.
obsessed about masturbating. The married guy obsessed about masturbating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Hey, it
see,
happens.
that's the type of creativity that we're talking about.
Exactly. You see, exactly. See, that's
So
what it is.
basically, if you just got to turn it on.
Turn
and
it
just,
on,
and
guys.
just make a mistake. It doesn't matter if you make mistakes.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's like
Yeah.
That's the first rule. Don't be afraid to fuck up.
Yeah, because the first 5 or 10 projects are going to be shit. They're
Yes.
going to be awful.
your first movie that you make is not going to be good.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
If it happens to be good, that's
No.
awesome, good for you. But it's not. And
not.
even if it is good, you're yourself as a filmmaker are always going to be.
You can always do
You're not
better.
going to be looking at
Yeah.
how good your movie is. You're going to be looking at the mistakes that you make because you know them, and you'll be like,
True,
how do I improve that?
But not everybody's like that. I
Yeah.
bet some people that have crappy, just not very good projects, in my opinion. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
I'm wrong, but they're very confident. They're like, nope, they see no flaws in it, and they don't want to admit anything.
So I
Well,
don't
some
like.
people are good at selling themselves.
Yeah.
Some people don't
it's
see their flaws.
That's the problem.
You
I
know?
mean, it's great.
A
I
lot of
mean,
them in Hollywood are like that.
It's great to have a confidence. You don't want to be cocky. Cocky
Yeah.
is that false sense of confidence.
Yes.
You don't want to have that. You want to always be self-aware.
Because as soon as you build something up and it doesn't deliver, nobody's
From
going
the
to trust
words
you
of
again.
Han Solo.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
in the word, exactly.
Wait, what did you say? What did Han Solo say?
Don't be cocky, kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't be cocky, kid.
Don't touch that pot.
So, what would you say, Anton,
What?
about what kind of cameras, just for basic filmmaking, is somebody doesn't have a lot of money and maybe they don't even have a smartphone, but they want to just start making movies?
I think everybody has a smartphone.
I don't
now.
think my niece has a smartphone.
How old is she,
Everybody
though?
does have a smartphone.
How old is she?
10?
Oh, there you go.
And she makes better movies than us.
She really does,
She-
though. She really does.
She's like, I've seen her. She's got some
She
talent.
gets
going
more
on.
likes than we do, more subscribers.
Yeah. That like little Snapchat like thing. They could do wonders with
snapping.
that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you could make a little Snapchat like skit, like vines.
No,
I
Vines.
never vined.
I didn't Vine either. I just started doing Snapchat a little bit, but I just do it with like my friend back home, because like he never responds to my text, but he responds with Snapchats, and so I just Snapchat funny little videos. But you know what it is too? It's just like the creative process, like when we're actually filming something. What is your favorite part of the filming process, would you say? When you start a project, all the way from the creation, all the way to the end when you're done,
Dude,
whether it's a
Yeah.
short film, whether it's a skit or whatever.
To me, it's always pre-pro. I love the pre-production
Yes.
because it's the creation part of it. I mean, I'm a writer, so naturally that's my favorite part of it, where I just feel the most comfortable. And that's where you can literally do anything. Nothing's set in stone. You're not on timelines yet. You don't need budgets. The stress is not there.
Yeah.
You get to just create.
Yes,
That's mine.
with a blank slate.
Blank
You know what the best
slates.
part? Is hitting that render button at the end of the fucking
For you?
project.
That's for you, is when all your hard work on the computer
When
is done.
everything is done and you just press render
Yeah,
and then you just wait for the product.
and you just hope that it renders nicely.
Yeah, that's the best part.
I would say I'm with you, Dan. Like I love the creative brainstorm sessions. Like when you got your friends and when we get together and we're ready to start coming up with an idea and you get that excitement. You're like, oh my God, we know how we're going to film this. We're just creating and building this world, and all within the realms of what we can do, with the camera and stuff. That for me is like the best. And then the second one is after you're filming, like, because actually filming, it's like, it's fun. But then my favorite part of that is like at the end of the day when you're looking at all the dailies and you see everything that you caught.
that's
and
so
like
fun.
when you
the
see when you
dailies are
see it
fun
for the
too.
first time.
Yeah.
They're all fun, dude. All aspects of it is fun.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Like we just if you're gonna rank it. what's
Yeah.
the most
Yeah, and it's always the most nervous too, is looking at your dailies, because it's like you put in all this time when you're on set, it looks great or it looks good enough, or sometimes you worry and you get nervous that it doesn't come out good until you look at the dailies and you're always kind of nervous, like, man, I hope it looks as good as it is, or I hope it's better than what I thought it was.
Looking at the dailies for me is the most nerve-wracking part.
It is, man, because like everything's right there. Either you got it or you didn't.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, here's the thing. The next thing I want to talk about when you're looking at those dailies and like say if it's a situation where you can't go back and reshoot anything, and you have mistakes in there, and it looks bad to you, and you have to fix it. Like how do you feel about that, Anton? Like when somebody says something's unusable, how do you deal with that?
To fucking fix it, dude. We'll find a way. Well, because the only beauty of me is because I know how to do visual effects.
Yeah.
And I can always like even though like we shot it wrong, we could always replace something that we. The one thing we can't change is sound, though.
Sound tough.
Yeah, sounds tough.
Sound is, I don't know. Like I don't have the skills, a particular set of skills yet.
To mix sound?
To perfect sound.
To perfect sound.
Yeah.
But capturing sound we're okay with. Like we understand the concept of it.
We're there.
We have our ears tuned into what's going to be picked up on the mics, how to capture that audio.
I feel like with sound, like the way that you are with visual effects, the way you are with acting, the way that I am with writing, we need like a sound person. It requires its own thing. You have to been doing it for years.
We need somebody that really specializes in that kind of thing.
All the audio.
You can't be like a cinematographer, sound designer. No, you just have to be a sound designer.
Either you're the visual or you're the audio. Yeah. Like you need somebody that's really good at that.
Or you could just make a silent film. Fuck the audio guy. Just make a silent film.
Charlie Chaplin.
It's the easiest way.
But you still have to buy sound somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Like you still have to buy music or license music.
But speaking of which, so Dan, let's go back to you and talking about like when we're writing. What's up, Kev? What's up, baby?
What's up, baby?
Everything has to have some type of structure, and that's really where your talent is. You understand how to allot time for something, how to structure a story, and why don't you get into a little bit of the basics of that?
Okay, so for me, I first started writing literature, like short stories, novels, poems even. Like I was getting really into literary.
Porn. I want to hear a Dan poem.
No, they're actually pretty good though.
Really?
I'm dead serious. Yeah, it got me
little
into
haikus
Chapman
here and
University.
there.
Do you have any poems with you?
Yeah, not with Do I memorize them? No. But I'll tell you this. I mean, it's a different tangent, but I was
No, you know what you should do?
What?
You should write little poems for like different moments that you know we all experience. Like if Anton's ever feeling sad, you just have like a sad poem that you just recite to him on the spot.
And Kevin could sing it in the gym.
Now that's called a song, and I've done songwriting as well.
All right. So you started in poems?
Yeah, no. So short stories. My point is I've just wrote everything: comic books, novels, whatever, written everything. So that's where I first started, was where you don't have blocks. You don't have, there's no structure to it. You could write however you want, whenever you want.
Yeah.
That was fun to me until then I started going to film school and getting into screenwriting stuff. That's when there was a lot of formulas and structures, and they really confine your creativity.
Yeah.
So that's what sucks.
They put you in a box.
They put you in a box.
But so you can learn what the box is, so you know how to think outside the box.
Exactly. After a while, I kind of figured out the formula and what works, and then now it's getting creative within the blocks.
Within
like that's
the
how you have
creative
to
blocks.
do it. Yeah, exactly.
That just confused the shit out of me, but it's okay.
That's how it is. You just got to figure out how you can get away with certain things. So if there's a certain joke that you like or a certain cool action sequence, tie that into the plot, so that way the executives, whoever, can't force you to just take that out. It's intertwined.
Well, for me in creativity, there are no rules. You just...
Yeah, there is in Hollywood, though.
But it's good to know the rules, but like when you're being creative, you don't even need to think about it.
You got to know the rules to break the rules.
It's just fun to break the rules.
It is, but you got to know the rules first so you can break them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, if you don't know that you're breaking a rule, then it's no fun.
Yeah, then you're just anarchy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Or it's just a happy accident.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love happy accidents. When something like is a mistake, but it ends up working with the story, ends up like working really well. Those are the best. Those are like the movie magic moments. Those are really cool.
It's those movie lovers.
Movie lovers.
You movie lover, you.
We are some movie lovers.
We are.
So Anton. Oh yeah, that's a truck. We're recording this in the Too High McFly garage.
Yeah.
And somebody's moving the truck, just in case you hear.
The garage can also be used to kill people.
Yes, you can. You can do
Pretty
that.
convenient and separated, and the windows are all.
Yeah, you have
off.
to do it in the corner. There's equipment everywhere else.
We do have a designated center to kill people and murder them. It's in the corner.
So, Anton.
What, Kevin?
Visual effects. Mr. VFX guru.
I'm not the VFX guru.
But how
I know how to do.
Yeah, but how easy is it for people to learn visual effects now with all the equipment and programs that are out there for everybody?
Learning the program is easy. Like After Effects is easy. Nuke is easy. Flame is easy. It's the thing is, like, visual effects is not. I don't think it's. You have to know the fundamentals of art.
Yeah.
Like the basics. Like, you can't go to school if you don't know English. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to learn the basic language first. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody wants to do visual effects, but first of all, you have to learn color theory. You have to learn composition. You have to learn like light and shadow and all that kind of stuff. But like, again, first and foremost, Photoshop.
Yeah. Photoshop is so
Photoshop
important.
is basically, it's like how Word is like the standard of like how you even Final Draft. You just kind of like the process of typing is Word. You know what I'm saying? But the process of like image manipulation is Photoshop.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything unless you know how to use Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
because it's like the basic American language to the other languages.
Of how to manipulate image.
It's like the Rosetta Stone of learning how to do
Because
everything.
the difference with visual effects and
Stone.
Photoshop is, it's like Photoshop you're manipulating one photo, but in visual effects you're manipulating
many
24 photos per second.
Yeah.
And that's why I like
Many
Photoshop
photos.
is because you learn how to do it in layers. It basically teaches you how to like composite different things together. So you can fucking make whatever you want on Photoshop, but everything's on different layers and blending things, and so
But
you
always
kind of
practice makes perfect too.
Yeah.
Because like you have to practice your craft all the time. Because if you don't do like anything for like a year, you're gonna lose it. You just gotta keep working on it. Like guitar playing too. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to keep practicing. I gotta keep watching movies because if you're not watching movies, like you're not gonna get inspired to do something better.
That is the best excuse I ever had. So when I tell, like if my girl wants to like nope, I gotta watch a movie. I'm sorry. It's homework.
It's homework.
It's
Like,
homework.
that's the beauty of art school.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing today? I'm drawing naked people.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah.
Well, that's something cool that like it goes back a little bit to Dan talking about like how when we like to get together for our creative sessions. Sometimes like when you're making a lot of like projects and stuff, or like you're learning how to do something on Photoshop, it's just stressful for after a while, and you kind of lose that little like creative spark, inspiration edge. That's why I think it's important. Like sometimes we get together and we give ourselves like creative challenges. You know what I mean? Let's make a prop out of something. Let's draw something. Like, hey, I'll give you like a I'm like, Dan, draw a fucking vampire, a robot vampire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just those
Draw
things
a
that help
strangler.
you.
Draw a Frankenstein with boobs.
Yeah. It's like those things, having those creative days when you get like you're inspired to start doing it. Because once you do that, like doing something on Photoshop or After Effects goes by so much quicker because you're in that inspiration mood. You're ready to create something. But when you're not in the mood, it just seems to take so much longer. Like something that could take an hour end up taking like 3 or 4 hours because you're just not feeling it.
And then it's harder to turn it on.
Yeah, turn it on. You just gotta turn it on.
You gotta turn it on, brother.
Distractions too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, distractions.
When you get too excited about one thing, then you forget about this one thing. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
what happened to me yesterday.
Dude,
I'm like,
it's
so excited about this podcast, I forgot about
with creativity, like you can't half-ass it, man. Like you got to give your undivided attention to a project because then you open up your creativity. You can't just like half-ass, like let me just hurry up and type something up or let me just hurry up and do a quick visual effect. You got to give it its all, otherwise it's not. Yeah, you got to focus, man. Give it its attention. Give it its love.
It's like sex, like if you don't focus.
You got to focus, man. I don't usually focus when I have sex, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. I just feel it out, man. You just got to feel it out.
Look at the titty. There you go.
Anton has
So
step
graphic.
one. I'm not even gonna say it. So when he said graphic, I'm like, yeah,
It's
we're
so funny.
totally
Like right
deviating.
before sex, the girl's like, "Are you ready?" He's like, "Hold on a second. I need to watch a little bit of Star Wars. I gotta get inspired."
YouTube tutorial, please.
Yeah.
Princess Leia. Princess Leia.
Princess Leia, go bikini, go bikini, go bikini. We're stupid.
Well,
We
that's
are
the beauty
dumb.
of this podcast.
That's
We
the beauty of the
deviate from
podcast.
whatever we're talking about.
Yeah, and I like how we just segued our
can.
way into another topic.
Another topic. Let's
Yeah.
well, fine. Let's talk about it because like we all want to make movies. If like Hollywood just opened up and they just came over to you and be like, "We want you to make."
Is it one guy or is it a group of people?
It's
that
just
call
Hollywood in
themselves
general.
Hollywood?
Yeah, exactly. The representative of Hollywood comes to
It's
you
going to
and
be
says,
Harvey
Yes.
Weinstein.
Oh, no.
"We're gonna give you a bunch
Weinstein
of
or Weinstein?
Weinstein.
Weinstein.
we're gonna give you a bunch of money to make a movie, and you can do whatever franchise you want." What would like your dream movie? What franchise would you like to make a movie in?
For me, it would probably be in the Star Wars universe.
So you go straight
up. I go home run. Go big or go home.
Full on Star Wars movie.
That's the reason why.
Would you do like an episodic one, or would you do like a side Star Wars?
I would do an episodic one. I would try to go fucking crazy with it, man.
What would you bring new to it? What would be like your thing that you would want to do differently with Star Wars and still keep it in the same?
I gotta add a teleporter to it, baby. All of a sudden, Rey knows how to fucking teleport. Does she snap her fingers when she does it, or does she just do it like I Dream of Genie?
Make Kylo Ren the Strangler.
And Rey's just a teleporter. There you go, man. Throw in Luigi in there, which is Anton's obese pug.
His obese pug. He is the Too High McFly mascot.
He is. Intentionally, unintentionally, he's a mascot. So he has more followers than we do.
It sounds like you would take a Star Wars film very seriously.
Oh, yeah. I would absolutely take it seriously. No, I know. No,
instead
but seriously,
of a porg, you're adding a pug.
I absolutely would, man. Like, I would totally take an attempt on it. Like Jurassic Park. We mentioned Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park, but I don't know how much more creative I can get on it. Like
on a Jurassic Park movie now, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's just the same thing. Like Jurassic World was clever because you now have an actual park that's running.
Yeah,
and they did it.
That's what I liked about it.
I don't know how they're gonna do Jurassic World 2. Like, I don't know what the premise is. I don't think
it's gonna be worldwide.
It's called
dude.
Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, but like what though? Then it's basically Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is. It's like, how is that different? That's what I'm not getting it.
I heard the T-Rex is back again. The original T-Rex, yeah.
The one with the
I heard it might even have a bigger part. I think he has his own trailer.
Does he have his own monologue?
I mean she, because all the dinosaurs. All right.
Is the whale dinosaur back?
I hope so.
Probably.
I don't know.
The Mosasaurus.
Yeah. No, it actually retired from acting is what I last heard. I just Googled it right now.
What about you, Anton?
There's so many.
For him, you gotta be Macross, right?
What would you do? You do a Macross movie. You're really big into anime.
It has to be robots. It has to be fighting robots, transforming fighting robots. Epic.
Yeah.
Like
the new Pacific
alien
Rim
invasion. Yeah.
How would you say that anime influenced your eye for filmmaking?
Well, I've been watching anime since I was freaking.
Yeah, but how does that go into the things that we make? Like you that was your inspiration growing up a lot, was all that anime.
Well, the beauty about anime is because it's always done cinematically. It's not like done like a regular cartoon. Mm-hmm. Like the rules of anime is like it's drawn like an actual movie. Like the angles are a movie. The lighting is like a movie. Mm-hmm. The storytelling is like a movie. It's not like, oh, we gotta have to make this like little bear sing and like do some song and dance. You know what I'm saying?
Bear
like,
things.
You know, you fucking kill somebody, there's blood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You shoot somebody in the head, there's guts all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Like but like you could tell real stories in cartoon form.
That's what I really like about anime is like how detailed even like the background is. Like everything that they do in anime is really cool. I just never got into it.
Everything is possible too. Like there's no boundaries. You could, if you want to shoot elephants in space, you could have elephants in space.
Elephants in space.
You know what I'm saying? Like
we're gonna rename this podcast to Elephants in Space. Dan's showing me a picture right now of what was that?
Of what? Who's that?
Who is that?
It's
Anton was talking about anime, and then Dan slides his computer over to me.
With
Like,
a naked
I thought he was gonna
dude.
show me like a funny meme.
no,
What is
it's a
it?
guy in like armored underwear in the movie Dune.
Oh, it's Sting. Dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's Sting.
You're a little late on bringing up with the Dune.
It's just been up the whole time, and like I keep looking at it, so I felt the need for you guys
Like
to see
when
the
Sting was young, like he's like
young Sting, dude. It was when he was still stinging
yeah.
before he was stung.
When he was like a Harkonnen.
What is your
Yeah.
favorite movie that had like a musician crossover into an actor in it?
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. You just had that right there. I
Dude,
would
come
say
on,
so,
man.
yeah.
David Bowie,
Labyrinth.
dude.
Not Busta Rhymes and Halloween Resurrection.
Definitely not.
Not
Definitely
Coolio in
not.
like
Yeah.
Gangsta's Paradise.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he was in that. That was
don't
just
know,
a
but, like-
No,
music
he
video,
just
but
sang
yeah.
the song.
Singing a song. I don't know.
Oh man, that's funny.
Oh, man.
Ain't Common in John Wick 2?
Yeah, but he was also in a Suicide Squad.
It was in Suicide Squad.
So, hey, that could be your favorite performance, man. I'm sure it's a lot of people's.
Oh, man, this podcast is all over the place.
And I love it.
the beauty of it.
All right, so now that we're talking about what movies you could...
Oh, wait, what about you?
Oh,
You
me?
didn't answer,
Yeah, you didn't answer yours.
Shit.
You didn't ask yourself your own question.
I would want.
You're gonna say Ghoulies. I already know.
Ghoulies. I mean, it's so tempting to do those big franchises like you're talking about, Dan, like Star Wars and like I hate it when people do reboots and it doesn't match up with what your expectations are. I know I could do a Back to the Future movie, but I wouldn't do it just out of respect for the franchise. But I know how to do it.
Your story is really good.
I know. I won't get into that story, but I would do something that
live action Rick and Morty.
No, I would do a live action Inspector Gadget and make it a badass, like kind of like futuristic detective noir story.
I'd have to see that because I don't know. Like even the cartoon, it was okay. I just wasn't really into it.
I could make it really cool.
Okay.
He's searching for the Strangler.
No, but I would. You know what? But part of me would say just fuck it and just do a Back to the Future movie. But I wouldn't do like a reboot or anything. There's a moment in the movie in the franchise that there's its own movie inside of that. It's the end of the first movie.
When Biff took the freaking almanac.
No. At the end of the first movie, when Marty comes back from the 50s, and this is cool because it's November 5th. We're talking about that.
Whoop, whoop.
When he comes back from the 50s into the 80s and he sees Doc at the parking lot, Twin Pines Mall, and he gets shot and he runs over to him and he's like, Doc, oh my God, you're dead. And he's like, no, I'm not. Here's my fucking letter from the 50s. I'm alive, bulletproof vest. And then Doc drives Marty back to his house and he drops him off at the end. He's like, where are you going? He's like, oh, probably about 30 years. All right, well, look me up when you get there.
I like the two dual voices, by the way.
Marty! No.
What if he did your whole podcast as Marty McFly?
Okay, Doc. You telling me you built a time machine? Had a DeLorean? No, I would have, and then Doc peels out of the driveway and he goes into the future, and then the next morning Doc comes back in with a souped up time machine that can fly, and there's an entire movie when Doc leaves and he comes back for Marty's help. There's an entire movie in there. Yeah. And that's the movie.
It's your kids, Marty.
Yeah. It's your kids. Something's got to be done about your kids.
You wouldn't have to really require Michael J. Fox in it if you don't need him. Yeah.
No. But like I would if you do it.
Yeah, you have to. It's just kind of hard, you know.
Yeah, because he has to play every Marty descendant.
Yeah,
that's true.
In the movie.
No, I would put them all. No, but what I would do is like so at the end of the movie, Doc pulls out of his driveway and he goes into the future. So we assume that he goes to 2015. But what would be cool is that when he got to 2015, it was the 2015 that we know. Like there's no flying cars, there's no hoverboards. The only difference is Marty's dead. And after, so in this timeline, Marty still gets in the car accident where he busts his arm and he can't do music. So he decides to go to college and like inspired by Doc and his science. And he starts to like develop the idea of the hover technology that we have like in the 2015 from the actual Back to the Future 2. And the only difference is while he was building it as like a project in college, he blows up and he dies. So when Doc goes to the 2015, he sees that Marty's dead, and he meets Jennifer, and she's just like, she tells him the story. What's that?
I see a Bill and Ted crossover with this thing.
Bill and Ted. Yeah. Bill and Ted would be cool. I would love to do a big Bill and Ted thing.
Like, where are you doing that? Like, fucking, and the shot of it's the Wild Stallions playing.
I would like to see Marty's band and the Wild Stallions like do a Battle of the Bands movie.
And you might as well throw in Saved by the Bell, the Zack Attack. I want to see that, you know. This is Battle of the Bands.
Yes. But anyway, for that Back to the Future thing, just to wrap it up, he has to go back and save Marty by fixing the machine before he dies. And then he goes to the far future, and he sees that Marty's old, and he's like, your kids are fucked up, man. What the hell happened to you? He's like, it's my kids, Doc. They were assholes. You got to fix it. He's like, all right, let's get in the time machine and go. He's like, Marty, I can't. You're too old. You're too old. But, Doc, you can't do this by yourself. There's only one person who can help me, Marty. And then he gets into the time machine, and he goes back to the end of the first movie. It's like, Marty, I need you.
We're going, we don't need Red.
I know. That's
and with a new girlfriend.
And that's an awful idea.
With Elizabeth Shue.
No, she would make a reprise in it. Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah.
Or we should just recast Jennifer again, just to keep up with the trend of always changing.
It's like every time Doc goes back,
technically, she was the same one in the third one, right?
What's that?
She was the same one in the
No.
third one.
It was Elizabeth Shue in the third one. But it's kind of funny. It's just like you can almost explain it with time travel. What if Marty did something back in the 50s and it changed the way his girlfriend looks when he goes back to 1985?
I have no clue.
That'd be funny. Yeah. We kind of went off on a tangent there.
I know.
But I don't know. I just love talking about movies. Do you guys want to talk about a movie?
I don't know. Let's talk about some recent movie.
Recent movie.
Oh yeah. Or should we talk about recent news?
Recent news. What news? Is there any new movie?
Do you guys
news?
want to touch on Kevin Spacey and them canceling the whole?
House of Cards.
season
I
6?
never watched House of Cards.
I saw like the first half of the first season. And that was it.
Was it good?
No.
It was okay. I mean, it was pretty decent, but I don't have that much time.
Kevin Spacey's fucked. He is so fucked.
Oh, dude! Apparently he has this movie that's coming out that's really big for Oscar consideration, and they're pulling it, and like it's not even going on an Oscar run. Like,
are you serious? Good.
Dead serious. He fucked himself.
He has some fucking problems.
I don't even
man.
know the news, but I heard
about
that he's fucked.
Oh, no.
You want to know how bad? Like,
Because
it's
apparently
so
a
easy.
second 14-year-old kid came out, boy or something, or another young
kid. I'm
Another
not
young
surprised because you know
14-year-old? What?
Another one. Yeah, you remember the first one was Anthony Rapp, who was in Dazed and Confused. And
Yep.
he was also in Adventure of the Babysitter.
Yes, that's right.
With Elizabeth Shue.
Shue.
Yep,
The
connection.
7 degrees of getting molested by Kevin Spacey.
That's so wrong. But
It
I
is
love
wrong.
This
But
is all
here's
gonna go
how
crazy.
far-reaching Kevin Spacey's fucking.
You know what the sad part is?
Perverse.
That you can actually make that a game because Kevin Spacey's been in so many movies. You
I
could probably really play
I
that.
personally know somebody who's been harassed by Kevin Spacey.
I remember you telling me that.
And that was before I moved to Los Angeles. When I was living in the suburbs of Boston.
How old was he?
I know he was of legal age. He was college.
like 19.
No, he was it was like post college.
Oh, okay.
It's just Kevin Spacey had this thing for. I'm not gonna get into it, but it's just like that fucking happened, and I knew about that then. And I'm just like, that's why I just don't really like Kevin Spacey. He's just a fucking creeper, dude.
I know, and the sad part is that he is a good actor. Like, he's a good actor in American Beauty.
Now I
It's
don't
just
even care.
He himself
My
personally,
favorite
it
movie
really
has
ruins
Kevin
it.
Spacey in it.
Which one?
7.
Oh, yeah. Or even Usual Suspects. Like, he was good
But
in
it's
that.
fine because he was evil in 7. So
Yeah. He was good in, what is it, Glengarry Glen Ross?
But
He
I
was
don't
good
want
in that.
real life evil people playing the bad guys in the movies
No,
I
man.
watch.
Like, this really
Like-
taints it. And it's like, I can't, like, with most cases, I can separate the person from the personality, like the performance from the personality. With this, though, it's like, I don't know if I can, man. It's going to take me a while. Like, that's really fucked up. Like, not, it's just fucked up.
Deservedly so. I hope like everybody else that has done shady shit like that before consistently is
Yeah.
gonna get outed.
And they're starting to, and apparently one of Corey Feldman's accusers, or not accusers, one of his molesters or whatever,
Yeah.
they came out and they identified who it was.
Well, here's the thing about that, and this is how fucked up that whole system is. He came out with all these names when he was a kid. It was all reported to the police. All these names of these elite Hollywood types that were apparently involved in the. Okay, Dan's doing a selfie picture when we're talking
Trying to do all
about the
three of
molesting
us.
Hollywood people.
Smile.
All right, we're smiling.
I can't get your face in there, Kev.
No, it's okay. We'll take one at the end.
While we're talking about molestation.
No, that's.
I felt like
fucked
this
up.
was an appropriate
No,
moment.
but hold on. It is an appropriate moment because, I mean, Corey Feldman has been saying he knows all these Hollywood elite pedophile people.
Yeah.
And everybody felt like he's been keeping it a secret who the names are. It's all on public record. He's been trying to get these people outed since he was like a fucking teenager.
Yeah, the problem though is that he doesn't want to say their names.
No,
He's
he
trying
did
to
all their
raise
names.
10 million. No, he's trying to raise 10 million so he can release a documentary or something revealing
Well,
it.
not just that he needs a security and he needs lawyers because
That
these
too.
people are going to come after him. But
But
like,
they're not going after the women that are accusing Harvey or maybe no, I don't think they are. I think is Harvey Weinstein suing?
No, I know.
for defamation of
Apparently, somebody
character?
came out and somebody's detailed account of what happened is enough to get him arrested. They said.
Oh.
I read that yesterday.
Is he in jail?
No, I don't think he's in
Well,
jail
now
yet,
there's probably the whole
'cause they're
statute of
building the case.
limitation, right? So you can't arrest.
And isn't that fucked up that's
Corey Feldman's
a California law? There's like a certain amount of time you have to report that stuff in California
it's like
specifically
20
for that
years.
purpose. But Corey Feldman came out with these names. It's all on public record from when he was a kid. He said, I've been trying to get this done for years. I've sat in the police station and I've told them
1
all
year
the
to 10
names and all
years.
the shit that they've fucking done to me. And because it wasn't Michael Jackson, they didn't care because they were trying to build a case against Michael Jackson at the time. And Corey Feldman's like, all that shit is bullshit about Michael Jackson. But I actually went in there and told them about the elite pedophile ring and all the people who are involved in that. And they just said, nope, all right, we're just looking for something on Michael Jackson. But he made like official reports, and it's just like, you can see how people have been getting away with this shit. It's almost like they're protected, or it's just not. They don't care about it. It's like kind of fucked up. But now everybody's starting to care.
Well, the problem is that it became trendy.
It's
the whole
social
hashtag,
media, dude.
it's the
Social
whole
media will fuck
hashtag Me
you up big
Too.
time.
Yeah.
It feels like this became a little trendy, and some people are mentioning about the hashtag.
You want to be
Me
cool,
Too.
so like, oh yeah, I want to.
Yeah,
be
but
like,
even
I'm
some
gonna
of their
step up.
stories is about how maybe a guy like I don't know, maybe looked at them or something. And
Yeah.
it's just like, come on. I
Because
mean, that's
everything's
not the
opposite
same.
these days, dude. Nerds
Yeah.
are cool. Fucking being molested is cool.
What?
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
man,
No, like
you're
it's
what the fuck are you talking
I wouldn't say
about?
that, but I mean, like,
no. I'm not saying it as it's cool, but like,
Yeah.
you want to be a part. Like for some reason,
that whole
It's
Me
like a
Too
trendy
thing.
yeah,
resistance.
yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
trendy,
it's a
like
trendy resistance. That's
I-
what
like
it feels
don't
like
think
especially
so.
when you're like against Trump, everybody's against.
Yeah.
like, you know
Well,
what I'm saying?
I do
Like,
agree with you
I'm
to
not-
a point.
I think I missaid the words. Like it's not cool, but like it's.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying,
Like,
and that's what I'm
it's like
saying.
a-
It's like some people. What I hate is that some people are using the hashtag Me Too for something where maybe a guy, like really small account, maybe hit on her, but
Yeah.
then it's like that's not the same as getting
Yeah,
molested.
it's a different.
Like,
It's a different
you're-
account of bandwagon.
Yeah, they're putting it under
know
the
what I'm saying?
umbrella
Like,
of
yeah.
the Me Too, and it's like that's not the
Well,
same.
that's not everybody.
And
No,
what
no, I'm
sucks,
not saying
I mean, like,
everybody.
so- I
I'm
mean,
just
what
like-
sucks is
some
people that really got molested are being quiet. Most of them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, like they really, really like deserve
The-
like redemption
yeah.
or whatever.
Justice.
Like,
Justice.
That's the proper word.
They need Batman.
They need that.
They need Batman just to beat the
But
shit
because
out
they're
of him.
being like saturated by these other ones that are like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's not important,
No, I get it, man.
but
All
like
right.
it's.
No,
That hits
no, before we change the subject, what I have to think now is like, think about all these other big, like, controversial topics where people are getting in trouble. And they're a big topic for a little while, and then it just quietly goes away. That's what I'm afraid that's going to happen with this type of stuff. With, like, all, like, the sexual harassment and pedophile rings or whatever in Hollywood and stuff like that. I have a feeling there's going to be some distractions and people. It's just all going to get quieted down.
That's
and
what
fizzle
seems
out.
to happen. Remember, they had the whole Las Vegas shooting, and then the Harvey Weinstein thing, and then the Me Too, and then all these other people are coming
Something's
out.
Isn't
gonna
that
go
kind of
over
fun? Isn't that
probably.
kind of funny how the Harvey Weinstein thing happened right when people started
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about multiple shooters in
That's
Las
exactly
Vegas?
that, yeah.
Is to have everybody start talking about that, and it's just like I just hope that it goes balls to the wall. And fucking all these creepy, fucking disgusting people in Hollywood just get out of there and get in trouble.
And I hope they literally staple their balls to the wall. so
Yeah,
that way they can't do
literally,
this
because that
anymore.
shit. I mean, that shit sucks. I mean, especially when you're just like you have this dream of wanting to be in the movies, to make a movie, and the only way to get there is some fucking guy doing something disgusting to you,
Yeah, and it's like
never get in trouble for it.
Hollywood and making movies is already hard enough. Like, we don't need to be, freaking harassed while you're trying to do that. I mean, come on. Talk about a distraction.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, you can't even be creative about
Well, I
it.
just hope all these scumbags go to jail and get outed because they deserve to.
That
Yes.
means all of them.
All of them, all of them. And even if it means like nice people in Hollywood that you just didn't even know about, and they just like I don't care about reputations or what you like. If they're fucking doing
Yeah.
shady
Everybody has a secret. You know
Everybody
that?
has-
Man,
skeleton.
everybody's got skeletons, man.
shit.
Some
So I think
plumper
it's time to
than
start talking about something.
All right, Dan,
Yeah.
turn it off on this
on that,
subject.
on that,
Turn it
yeah,
off.
on
We
that
got a little dark there.
Yeah.
dark moment right there. That was like the
It's
Empire
always
Strikes
depressing
Back
to
of
talk
the
about this
podcast,
kind of stuff.
That was
man.
the
Like-
second act.
This is the Temple of Doom of our podcast right
It's
now.
really like not as fun to talk about this.
No, man, like we're over here trying to have a fun conversation.
Let's talk about something fun.
Someone's gotta
Come on,
depress
let's
us.
like
Something fun. What would you want? Well, we saw Thor Ragnarok.
Oh,
that
Thor
was fun.
Ragnarok was good.
Thor Ragnarok was really
Okay,
fun.
grades before we get into it. What
All
grade
right.
do you give it? 1 out of 10.
Well, I've seen it. Anton and I saw it twice on Friday.
yeah.
I would say I'm gonna give it between. I'm like 8 and 9. I'm like drifting maybe a little bit more towards 9, but I'm
It's
like
a
I'm like,
9.
I give it a solid 8.5.
Okay.
8.5. I give 8.
I think it's better than Guardians 2.
oh, it's way better than
but
Guardians
not as good
2.
as Guardians 1.
I
Guardians-
think it's equal for me as Guardians
I love Guardians 1. Dude, Guardians 1 I give a solid 9.
because it's a
That's
different
10.
kind of story.
No, for sure. It's just I don't know. There was just more to it. I saw with Thor, there was some problems with it. It wasn't perfect.
Yeah, oh no, of
So
course
that's
not.
why
Not perfect. No
Guardians
movie's
to me,
perfect.
Guardians 1 was damn near perfect. Like, it was awesome.
And you know what I kind of give it to them? I give it to Marvel because they actually took a superhero movie and like made it like slapstick.
Yeah, they did.
And it was
And
good.
still cool.
And it was good. And they did like good slapstick.
My favorite character of that movie was Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. He was your favorite?
I loved him in it, dude. He was so funny.
He was funny.
Jeff
He was
Goldblum.
funny. It was just I thought all their makeup things were like weird.
Dude,
everybody
is funny.
Did you know that he's the brother of the Collector?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard about
Everybody is funny in that fucking movie.
that. And you don't want to
Yeah.
know something else? Did you catch this? Jeff Goldblum and Sam Neill in a movie together,
Jurassic Park,
and it just like kind of went all over our heads. We're like, holy shit! It's like
because
Jurassic
Matt
Park.
Damon stole that scene.
Yeah, that's right.
spoiler alert, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah, Matt Damon was in it, but
Well,
he wasn't.
if you
a big
haven't
part.
seen
It was
Thor
a fun-
Ragnarok yet and you're listening to this, like,
Yeah, at this point, if you
should
haven't
burn it
seen
now.
it, then you want to stop the
Yeah.
podcast now because we're
Yeah.
going to get into spoiler heavy.
But it was so good. It was good. It was
good.
like, you know what I liked about
music,
it?
dude.
Is like it didn't try to be a complicated movie. It was a simple, fun plot. It was just Thor fucking doing funny shit with Hulk and just battling, and it was really fun. You didn't have to think. You could just sit back, relax, and just enjoy the movie. And it didn't feel long. It felt like the perfect pacing. But I would say my favorite part was
I thought
like
Valkyrie was a cool character.
Valkyrie
yeah,
was my
she was
favorite.
Yeah.
she was really good.
She was really cool.
Hold on, we're filling up some beers
I also
here. while we talk
really
about
like
some
Kate
more movies.
Blanchett, dude. Kate Blanchett is.
She,
I like her.
you know what? Ever since she did Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull,
that's not
I
her fault,
lost.
though.
I know, but I just like I was kind of done seeing her as a villain.
Hey, this is Frozen.
I was kind of sick of seeing her as a villain, but actually she
nice.
played this pretty well, and it was a
Dude,
right
she's
amount.
good,
It was
man.
a
It's
right
just her
amount. Of
hair looks so good when it's all down.
It did. I liked
she
it.
She's so
looked really
sexy.
good.
I didn't
you know?
like the helmet thing. That
I
she
kind of
had
like the
on.
helmet thing. It looked
like
badass.
darkened eyeshadow.
Yeah,
It makes it look
the
more like
smoky
yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
She's good, man.
It
Like,
was
she's-
good.
yeah.
I liked her. She didn't have to do anything more than what she did. They had her in the.
I
perfect
kept
amount.
tapping Kevin like every time Valkyrie's like, man, she's so cute.
Yeah,
Valkyrie.
Anton loves her. He's in love with her.
Man, she's cute, man. Like,
Yeah, but like Thor totally lost his eye, man.
That was so cool. You know, it's funny. They
Crazy.
played a trick on us because there was that scene in the
Yep.
movie after he already lost his eye, and then he's walking towards her and like all the lightning, and
Yeah.
you see his eye lit up. But in the previews, it has
the
both
trailer.
eyes.
Yeah.
It has
well, the
both eyes
trailer,
in
they
there.
took a lot of scenes out of trailer. Like,
Yeah.
remember when she crushed the hammer?
Yeah.
It was in an alleyway.
Yeah, it was in
then,
an alley.
Then it's in a freaking
Oh, yeah.
Norway now.
Yeah.
You know, like,
They threw us off.
and then
man.
there's a part where him and Loki were coming by a bridge in Asgard. They never showed that too.
tricky
You know these
Marvel.
trailers. You know these like Star Wars is.
Dude, I really
notorious for
thought
that.
Chris Hemsworth did a really funny job as
Yes.
Thor. Like he
Oh,
really did well.
That was my favorite Thor performance in
Yeah,
all
for
the.
sure.
I remember when we were dissecting it, I told you like the reason this Thor is the best Thor is because the first two is like everybody is trying to be funny around Thor.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work. Like Kat Dennings,
yeah.
and Thor is so serious, but everybody's trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Now they made him funny.
Now he's the funny part, and it's like it
I like
just
it how
balances out.
I like how when Thor got a haircut, they gave
Yeah.
him gel.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I guess they got gel.
With-
over
with-
You know,
there.
you
with
know what's
Stan Lee
funny about
Scissorhands?
what you were
Yeah.
saying though is because Thor was always the joke of the group.
Yeah.
Because he was from this different world and he had this almost like Greek mythology,
Like
like
fish
theme
out of
Seems like
water.
about him.
bigotry to me.
Yes, but now it's like Thor is in on the joke.
He acknowledges
You know what I mean?
the fun-
He now gets the humor.
He's making the jokes.
He is making the jokes, and it's all situational humor too, like that whole like when he's dangling in the chains in the first scene
Yeah,
against
that first
Sultar,
one.
and he's just like spinning. He's like, "Oh, hold on a second, because his
Yep,
back is
yeah,
turned because he's spinning.
yeah.
It's like it's not my fault. I'm not controlling the spin.
Yeah.
And that was funny. It's not him just having funny dialogue. It's situational.
Dude, I'm so
comedy.
sad that he lost his hammer, man. That first scene where he's
because you
battling
love that hammer.
hammer,
cool.
hammer. I love
But
it.
he's not the
Although
god
the-
of hammers.
I love
remember?
that hammer, dude.
You know what the worst part about Thor's hammer
Huh.
is? Its fucking name. Mjolnir, isn't that what it's called?
Mjolnir? Yeah.
Mjolnir.
I hate that name. It's,
I-
it sounds like a
it's too
sound.
If it was a cool name,
Mjolnir.
people wouldn't call it Thor's
Mjolnir.
hammer.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Everybody just calls it Thor's hammer. They don't call it Mjolnir.
No, because Mjolnir sounds weird. It sounds like a fucking sound, like you're choking on your own tongue.
Or you're trying to get like loosen up your nasal passage. Mjolnir.
Yeah.
Well, I'd
Mjolnir.
rather have him fucking have lightning bolts coming out. You know, that was so
Oh,
cool.
He went
Oh.
so Raiden, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot
So
of cool.
rated.
There's a lot of cool.
Like all that
moments in this.
electricity just coming out.
No,
I'm like,
that was
man,
cool. cool, man.
There's a
It's
lot.
like a Wonder Woman moment, when she
Yeah.
finally figures out like she's powerful, that she's a god.
He's got to get his
like-
hammer back, though, dude. He's got to get his hammer
There's
back.
got to
forge
be
his
some.
own.
Yeah, he could.
Like,
he could find a way.
He could have fucking Hela forge him another one, because you know how Hela is the greatest forger in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like she can just like forge knives.
You just
and
gotta
fucking-
find. You just gotta find another dying star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's so many of those.
Maybe the heart of fucking
buy it on
Asgard,
eBay.
You know what
You could buy it on eBay.
I mean? Order it in Prime.
Order it on Prime,
2
dude.
days is there.
2 day free shipping.
But that means that Thor can't fly now.
yeah, that's
fly,
what I'm saying.
dude?
Yeah, that's
No, he can't. He can only fly with his hammer.
That was it.
No,
Remember,
the-
he swings
he
it
was
so
Flying
bad.
with electricity, dude.
Now who's diving out? Like he can
Yeah.
crash and he can be okay. But the thing is, the hammer is so heavy, he can wield it and he can spin around, give it momentum, and then he throws it.
This is a comic
and it's
book
the
movie.
weight.
There's always a reason for make Thor fly. Come on.
I mean, you could just get Tony Stark to make him a suit. That'd
Yeah.
be fine.
But
But
then
the
they
thing
all
is,
could
like,
get
the
suits.
hammer is what made him fly. You just spin it around and then he'd throw it, and then it would
Hang
pull
onto
him,
it.
and he would just hang on to it. And that's what I thought was cool. That's a cool new way to
Thunder
fly.
and lightning could make him fly too.
Well, you
Think
can do
about it.
whatever you
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
in a fucking movie.
He's not Storm, though.
It's not Storm.
He does look like it for a little bit though. His eyes all just like,
He looked
oh,
cool.
But
I'm
that-
not a
electric-
big fan of the haircut, though. Like, I get that they did it. And, like, I get
I
it.
like
It's
it.
just- I don't know.
I think it's kind of cool.
You like
It's different.
Fabio Thor?
I mean, that was Thor. That's
That
the Thor
was
from,
Thor.
Adventures
But
of Babysitting.
we've had so much of Thor that it's okay for them to do that for
Yeah,
this.
exactly. I
Because
totally
they
get
didn't
it.
do it just to change his look.
No.
I mean, it felt like it was on purpose. They had to cut his hair before he goes.
Stan
fight
Lee
Hulk.
cut his hair. That means it's okay.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Stan Lee
Yeah.
cuts Thor's hair. It's okay.
Yeah, I think that's why they did it. You know, like,
But that battle between Hulk and Thor was fun.
oh,
man.
that's epic.
That was so.
That's
cool.
the gladiator moment. That's
Aw.
like, my name is Maximus Decimus Aurelius,
And also,
and I know Hulk.
what was the other guy? The Rock guy who was voice was by
Korg.
Oh,
the
the
Why- why-
director,
why-
director,
why-
it was
Taika
Waititi.
Waititi.
Yeah.
Waititi.
Yeah.
But what was the character name?
Korg.
The characters.
What, Cord?
Korg.
Korg.
With a G.
Korg.
Yeah.
He was so
Korg.
funny, man.
Dude,
He
you
was
remember, his
so
delivery
funny,
is always
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, he's just like talking like this, and everything's fine. But I'm a big scary rock man. Oops.
Yeah.
Like it was so funny, man.
He's a funny dude.
It's like Doug. Oh, he's dead.
And I'll tell you, I was a little bit nervous for that. Well, not really, because Thor's not like his other movies. Like the first movie was okay. The only thing I liked about the first movie is like all the battles that they did in the other worlds. When he came down to Earth, it was kind of boring. Thor: The Dark World was like it was like too dark and serious.
Is it me or is the synth soundtrack sounds like Never Ending Story?
Yeah, for Ragnarok.
Yeah. For like,
I really love how they use the song from Willy Wonka.
Oh yeah.
on his like little like tour.
No.
Oh,
It was a psychedelic one.
It was when they're
Yeah.
on the when they're in the raft when they're.
That
I was
was
like trying to
cool.
figure out what song is that? Like
It was
Small
from Willy
World?
Wonka.
Oh,
no,
Willy
No,
Wonka,
I knew
yeah.
it was the Willy Wonka
Yeah.
thing, and there was a scary part of that movie of Willy Wonka.
I love that
And
part.
then like they cut out of it, and he's
and
just
he
screaming
was
in the
saying
chair.
a poem. Pop, 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 pop.
Oh
poem.
man, it was good. I mean, like Thor Ragnarok, I felt was like.
Yeah.
They finally got Thor right for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, it's not a perfect movie, but it's a well damn fucking
Yeah,
fun
that's
of
why I
movie,
give it a
though.
solid 8.5. 8.5
know?
is good, man. That's
Yeah,
considered.
you
in my
forget
book,
all like
8.5
the
is
little
really good.
inconsistencies here and there because you're
Yeah.
having so much fun watching
Yeah.
it.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And Chris Hemsworth, he's just like so good as Thor. Like even in all the he was always good as Thor. I was just never really interested in those movies in particular because I
Yeah.
didn't really care.
The first one was good. The
Yeah.
second one, no.
But this one was
I
perfect.
like them all. You know me.
You like everything.
I like everything.
You like everything except for
Yui Ball movies.
yeah. Well, yeah. Everybody.
And we get Loki back for Thor Ragnarok, which is kind of cool. He was looking a little bit
pretty
like
good,
Tommy Wiseau from The Room.
Yeah. I
He
did not
is
hit
Tommy
her. I
Wiseau.
did not-
Oh, hi Thor.
Oh, hi, Thor. I did not hit her. I did not. I'm excited for the Disaster Artist, man.
Yeah, that's
It's
coming
gonna
out.
be better than The Room.
Yeah.
That's coming out in December. So are we wrapped
of
up on
course it's
Thor
gonna be better
Ragnarok?
than
Wait,
The
hold
Room.
on a second. Is there anything else about Thor Ragnarok before you start talking?
Before we
about
talk about The Room.
End credits? You want to talk about the end credits?
Oh, yeah, I actually do.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you right now, all these Marvel post-credit scenes are not good anymore.
Well, because they're closing out. Remember, I told you. It's almost the end of the end
phase
credits
two,
of
huh?
like setting up because it's
just
already all set
Yeah.
up.
I love Jeff Goldblum. Oh well, if you haven't seen the movie, you can cover.
Oh,
yours.
you know what we haven't talked about in
But
Thor.
the end credits with Jeff Goldblum, it's just like I like Jeff Goldblum. I thought it was kind of funny, but it didn't have. It's just
It's like that Captain America.
It was just
one,
a joke. Again, the whole thing is built off of a joke. I liked it. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Well, the second end credit is always a joke.
Yeah, exactly.
The first end credit is vital to the next movie.
Yes, the last one is always a joke. Remember, for Spider-Man: Homecoming is just Captain America.
Yeah,
like that was okay.
Because
but
I
like
think a lot of people
see that was because it was making fun of its own concept of waiting to the end of the credits.
No, for sure, I get it.
And it was an ongoing joke throughout the movie, so I kind of get that.
Well, I think because they did that, they don't want you to wait until the end of the credit, like the movie credits. So that, but we forgot to talk about Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange and Thor Ragnarok. He was pretty good.
It kind of felt like what we saw in Doctor Strange. There wasn't really anything new.
Yeah, but it's like it's a longer cameo.
Oh, you know what? I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Why did he help him again? Why did Doctor Strange help him again?
Because he wanted Loki off the planet.
Yeah.
Oh, so he said, "I'll do this to get Loki."
He goes, just to take your brother off the planet. You just want to know where your dad is? Okay. And that's all I got to do. Okay, then you'll be on your way.
Yeah, remember, he is the guardian of Earth.
Well, hey, here's something like I don't know this Easter egg. Remember when Thor first brings Loki down and to show him where Odin was, and they were outside of that building
Shady Acres?
torn down. Shady Acres.
Type it. Shady
what
Acres.
Was Shady Acres?
What is Shady Acres?
Because when I saw that name, I'm like, I know this. I fucking know this name.
Marvel. Just type Shady Acres Marvel. See what's going on.
I will keep talking.
But that's what it was. I'm like, Shady Acres. Was that like a? It had to have been some type of retirement home, but I've heard the name Shady Acres before.
I think I've seen it in a movie before.
I think it was in one of the Marvel movies. It had to be in one of the Marvel movies.
Spider-Man, maybe, because it's all based in New York.
I don't know. Shady Acres. It's a creepy name. That'd be a good name for a horror movie.
Yeah. Shady Acres.
Shady Acres. But we got some good movies coming up too.
You want to talk about a little bit of a preview of the Star Wars trailer, the 45-second Luke in the fucking Millennium Falcon?
Oh man, why did you just say
so
that?
Apparently, the director is a big fan of
South Park?
Movies?
South Park, and it's on South Park.
Shady Acres is a South Park.
It's a retirement community there, so he just made a ode to that.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So South Park is in the fucking
MCU.
It's canon apparently.
Oh man,
It's canon.
Cartman coming down, fucking with Loki. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah.
But after Thor, there's Justice League.
Then
Then
I'm
Star
really
Wars.
excited. We got Justice League and we got Star Wars. Those are the big movies. But
You know
there are
what's
other
funny?
small movies
Chris
in between.
Hemsworth's brother,
Yeah.
Luke Hemsworth, was the one that was playing the role of Thor in the play.
In the what?
In the play,
What play?
the one that he was watching.
In
Matt Damon.
Oh, okay. That's who. Okay, that's funny.
It was the brother. That's why it kind of looked like him a little bit.
I was trying to think. I'm like, who was that?
I thought it was Charlie Hunnam for a little bit too. when
That'd
you
be
look at
funny.
him, like, Charlie
yeah.
Hunnam?
But that was cool. But anyway, I think we're kind of done with Thor Ragnarok.
Let's talk
was
about
fun.
some Justice League. Are you
Some
excited for
Dude,
Justice
I
League,
am
Kevin?
so excited for Justice League. I mean, let's go
Yeah.
over what DC did so far. They had Man of Steel. I really liked Man of Steel. We had Batman v Superman, and there's some problems with Batman v Superman, but there's still stuff in there that I did like. And
There's Suicide Squad.
there's Suicide Squad, which is half a bullshit.
Should we talk
disaster.
about the earlier one, Green Lantern?
No, because that's not part of this one. And then we had
Apparently,
Wonder Woman.
There's also
Wonder
an
Woman.
Easter egg of Thor with the Green Lantern. So the director was an actor in that movie, and his character had a shake weight. So in the movie, when
they're
they make a
doing this?
reference to the shake weight, it was the
I
same
haven't seen
shake
the
weight he
Green
used.
Lantern. I have to watch.
I
that
never
again.
saw it either, but
No, I've
but
seen
that's
it.
the
I just
Easter
haven't seen
Scourge,
it in a
dude.
while.
Like Scourge was doing
Yep,
this. Right?
exactly.
Like, she was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But anyway, so after Suicide Squad, we had Wonder Woman, and that seemed to come in and save the DC.
my favorite DC movie,
Wonder Woman, really?
Wonder Woman.
Nice.
I'm a big. We did a review on that.
I have a
October.
feeling Justice League might be my new favorite.
Already?
You haven't even seen it.
I haven't seen it, but I like everything that I've been seeing so far more than I have.
You
with
said
like,
that in Man of Steel. You said that.
Wait.
Well, I still
Here's my
love Man
question,
of
though.
Steel.
Does the Christopher Nolan Batman movies count as part of this conversation, or is it just what DC's
no,
doing
just
now?
like DC's doing now.
Okay.
Just like DC's
Well,
doing
there's
now.
not that many.
Apparently,
to
it's
choose
not
from.
the DCEU because they never said it was the DCEU.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a big thing that
They
did
don't
like,
call it the
and that's
DCU
like what
anymore.
pisses me off is because people have been ragging on DC for a while, and then they just go ahead and leak out. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, the DCEU is not the official name for it. I'm like, how many fucking movies have you made and you don't have an official? They call
that
it something
kinda, like,
else
pisses me
within
off,
their
though.
company, and
Yeah,
they don't.
like what is it though?
What the fuck is it?
They don't own it, dude. They need to own it. That's why Marvel is walking on them like crazy because Marvel
you know what?
owns their shit.
So apparently, the way that it started was that there was like a reporter or somebody.
Yeah,
that
and they
first
call it the
reported, they called it DCU as a joke.
Extended Universe.
I bet you somebody must have got it copywritten or did something and took it off the table and they weren't able to get it, so that's why they're saying.
No, I think because
No,
most
no,
of their movies
because
failed and they're just like retracting
That's it.
that.
Within
Could
the
be that.
company, they call it something else, but they're not
Yeah.
releasing it yet for some fucking reason.
Why?
Like
This
2,
man-
3
what-
movies.
yeah, we're like fucking
It's like
5
the
movies
Dark
in.
Universe too. Like they've been planning it.
It's
remember,
like
'cause,
what the hell? It's like, come on, at least what the fuck are we watching?
One thing I will say though, Cyborg doesn't look. He hasn't grown.
I'm not
on me
excited
Yet. I'm
of
not excited
Cyborg.
about Cyborg. Aquaman looks fucking tight.
Yeah,
Jason
Aquaman looks
Momoa.
really good.
I can't wait to see Mara though. Like
I like the
Yeah.
way that Cyborg looks, but he just seems like a monotone robot whenever he talks.
He's just like a bad version of RoboCop.
I just wish he had a little bit less of a robotic
well,
personality.
because he
Yeah.
is Mutterbox made. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
he never
That's
said
what
booyah
made him.
yet.
fucking-
Yeah, but he should still have his personality. He does say "booyah." Did you see
Oh,
that
he
in the
said it in the
trailer?
last one?
He said it in the trailer. He said in one of the TV spots, but it was just like "booyah." It wasn't like a big one.
No,
so.
I thought that was Jason Momoa, Aquaman saying
No,
something
no.
else.
This is something else. This is a separate shot of Cyborg. He was standing on the ground and he was looking up at something and he just goes "booyah." And
So
it's just
initial
like-
reviews. Talk about it, Kevin.
What do you mean?
About the initial reviews of Justice League.
What
About the,
Oh yeah, like,
about the
there's been
sandwich
screenings.
metaphor.
There's been screenings. Well, there was a test screening not like maybe a month or two ago, and people were saying that it was getting nobody was saying anything bad about it, and most of that was coming from people who claim to hate Batman v Superman, and everybody was saying it was good. It wasn't fantastic, but it was good. And then there was another screening just a couple of days ago, I believe. And the guy, I forget who it was, but he put on his social media, he's like, just saw Justice League, although contractually I'm not allowed to talk about it, so I'll talk about this sandwich that I had that was made by 2 different chefs. And it was a really good sandwich. It was something like that. And he kind of broke down his review of what was inside the sandwich to match what was going
Like,
on.
I didn't
in
like
the movie.
mayo, but
Oh, that's
the
pretty
mayo
cool.
was
He
good.
said
Was it tomato flash?
it said the iceborg lettuce was a nice surprise.
Ooh.
So Cyborg might be having some
See,
cool things.
You know
But
what though?
what else is green?
What's that?
What
He
else
said that
is
it
green?
said the iceborg.
Yeah, so
lettuce.
it's gonna be him.
Not
But
iceberg lettuce.
One thing though
iceborg
too is that they're saying in regards to the Han Solo movie that basically it's an entirely different movie. Like since Ron Howard came in, he completely basically
I heard
reshot
that
the
he
entire movie.
reshot everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Everything. He
It's his
doubled the
movie now.
budget. But Justice League only did some minor reshoots that were already written by Joss Whedon. And apparently the movie stands out as it looks like 2 different directors did it, but apparently it flows well.
See, the thing about that, when have you ever seen a movie
Yeah.
with 2 different directors that was really good? Usually it doesn't work that way. It's very rare that happens. You usually get like a Jonah Hex thing where it's just awful.
Well, here's what I think happened. I think that it's Joss Whedon's funny, quippy dialogue and stuff that he can do with his characters mixed with Zack Snyder action.
That would be cool.
See, that's what I think is
I
going
like
on
Joss
because a lot of people give Zack Snyder a lot of shit.
He's
They give him a
fucking-
lot of
he's a
shit.
great director.
His
Visually, yes. His
Say-
storytelling
whether
is
you
not the
don't like
best.
his movies or not,
Yeah,
his action scenes
he has my
are
respect. no matter
incredible.
what, yeah.
His I still stand with even though Batman v Superman and Man of Steel was met with some critical negative reviews, the action scenes in those movies were incredible.
Yeah,
Like in Man of Steel, like my favorite action scenes so far in the DCEU is the Battle of Smallville in Man of Steel. I like some of the Batman Superman fight, but Wonder
The
Woman is
Batman warehouse scene.
the Batman warehouse scene. So it's the Man of Steel showdown in Smallville, and it's the Batman warehouse scene, and then it's the Wonder Woman battles. Like, it's so funny. Like, all of her battle sequences, I just want to condense into one scene, and that's my favorite battle sequences. But it was just,
Anything Wonder Woman.
Anything Wonder Woman.
It was
That
it
movie was
really
amazing.
good.
That's my
so
favorite one.
like, and even though Zack Snyder, he just like he really didn't do anything on Wonder Woman. He kind of worked with Patty Jenkins a little bit about like what I don't know.
He didn't do
worked
anything, but he's the one that casted Gal.
He did cast Gal. Yeah.
He's
And actually,
got the
Patty
vision
Jenkins
of Gal.
came out, and I guess she said something. She probably would have ended up casting it differently.
Yeah.
I don't know if those were her exact words. I didn't like. It was something that like she doesn't even like. If Zach didn't already cast her, she doesn't know if that she would have casted her.
Yeah.
But you know, you never know.
Because I think the biggest charm of Wonder Woman is Gal.
she is.
Oh yeah.
Her smile.
Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Chris Pine was good too.
Chris Pine
He
was
really
great.
good in the movie,
Those
yeah.
two worked well
Great
together.
chemistry.
But
That's the
her
thing,
as Wonder Woman is just like, and it's so funny. It's just like obviously she's beautiful, and you look.
I didn't notice.
Yes, and
She's the
you'll be like,
ugliest
oh man,
freaking
I love
woman.
she like she's so hot, she's so hot. It's not that. Like when she just smiles, it's like this beautiful smile. It's like this comforting smile. It's just like I want her to protect me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just like when Wonder Woman like makes you feel bad about something that you're doing, you feel like a dick. You're just like, man, I just let Wonder Woman
She just
down.
gives you that look.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
the
a
look she gave to that
disappointment.
general.
Yeah, she's
I
just
feel like I disappointed her.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I just disappointed Wonder Woman. What the fuck, man? What am I
You
doing
pout
with
like
my
Hulk.
life?
Yeah.
That's her true power. It's just making you feel guilty. With
Like
her
every
lasso
woman.
achievement.
You just feel guilty.
But I heard Wonder Woman is really good in Justice League too. I heard she has like a.
The thing
she
is,
pulls
I really
a lot
don't
of the
want
movie.
Patty Jenkins to direct the second one
Wonder Woman too? Why?
because I don't want her to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Well, she did
it's
so
not
good with
that-
the first
No,
one.
no,
You gotta
I
have
don't think
confidence.
she's gonna fuck it up. The thing is, you know how you do Josh with Avengers. It was a fucking awesome, fucking perfect movie. Then you
And then
try
you did the sequel.
to do sequel with James Gunn.
Gunn.
With
That's what I was gonna
fucking-
say. James Gunn with
Yeah,
Guardians.
it
Don't
seems
ever
like-
direct a sequel of your
Yeah.
own your masterpiece.
That's
I
right.
know. Which does that go into? Does that mean the Last Jedi is going to be better than the Force Awakens then? Because they changed directors.
that's-
And how does that go with J.J. Abrams doing the third
Well,
one?
that
now?
I'm scared about.
Yeah. How does your theory
Now
hold
we're
up
Star
to
Wars
that?
suck.
Well,
we could dedicate 30 minutes
All
to
right, so
Star
we're
Wars.
done.
suck.
Well, but before that, let's sum up Justice League.
Yeah.
So, Dan, how do you feel about Justice League coming up?
I'm super excited about it. I'm very nervous, and I don't think it's going to be quite as good as Wonder Woman, but I think it's still going to be pretty good. I think I'm going to have a fun time watching it.
Okay, so it's almost going to do to you what kind of like Thor Ragnarok did, where it's
Yes,
don't make it
exactly.
composed,
Yep.
just make it fun.
Don't make it-
Superheroes
exactly.
doing superpowers.
Yep. It's not going to be the best, one, but it's going to be really good and really fun.
But
to
one
watch.
thing I gotta say though, if I'm nervous for a movie to be good, it always ends up being good. I was nervous for Wonder Woman. I was nervous for Avengers.
How about Pacific Rim? Were you nervous to like that one? or no?
The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I seen it fucking 10 times in a theater.
It's
Like, it
good,
was
but
good.
there's a lot of story problems within. I love Guillermo del Toro.
I
I love
Pacific
him.
Rim.
So
We're
but
gonna have
Justice
a
League.
different battle.
Justice
Yeah.
League, Justice League.
Yeah, close it out.
Close it out with no. Well, what else were you gonna say about Justice League?
Well, that's it.
That's it. Are you
already.
excited for Justice League
Oh,
to
yeah.
come out? Are
I'm
you
excited
nervous?
and nervous.
You're excited and nervous for Justice League.
But remember, I said usually when I'm nervous about a movie, it usually ends up being good.
Okay.
80% of the time.
Nice. So
So that's a good thing that I'm nervous about.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Justice League. I think it's going to be very fun. I think there's going to be a lot of great, cool moments, and I really hope it does well because I like the cast of heroes that they have set up for the DCU. I love Jason Momoa as Aquaman. You know what's his name? Ezra Miller as Flash. You really surprised me when I first heard that he was casted. I was like, I don't know. Like I can kind of see it, but then when I see the stuff that he's done so far, I've really enjoyed it. Even though if Jose and Mike were here, they'd argue against his character because apparently the type of personality that Ezra Miller is portraying as Barry Allen is not the typical Barry Allen.
No, because Barry Allen's supposed to be more
Yes.
smart, more of a bookworm.
Yeah, and not as funny and just like, oh,
Exactly,
dude, that's
yeah.
cool. But I really love the way that they're portraying him. I hope they make that Flashpoint movie that they're talking about.
Should
That'd
we
be cool.
promote the first new Film Brew episode?
Yeah, so that's going to be for Justice League. So by the time Justice League comes out, shortly after, we're going to have our first basically TV style segment show that we're going to put on our YouTube channel. Usually we have it. Oh, by the way, if you guys are listening to us from iTunes, just cruise over to our YouTube channel and you can see our short films and our movie reviews. But something else that we're going to be doing is instead of taking all these small little segments that we do on video, we're just going to put them all together and make it like a really fun, cool show. And TV show just for YouTube, maybe 15, 20 minutes.
TV style show.
TV style series for YouTube. Where we're going to break down movies. We're going to talk about comic books. We're going to talk about how to make movies and stuff like that. But so Justice League is going to be our first episode that we're all really excited about. We're going to break down Justice League. We're going to talk about what comic books you're going to need in order to understand what's going on. Or if you're just excited for the movie and you can't wait, you can just like read these comic books. And that segment will be like with Jose and Mike, and we'll have them on the podcast.
Maybe a little how-to on how to do the Flash or Fly. Maybe?
Oh, maybe we'll figure out what superpowers we want to show you guys how you can do on After
in the
Effects.
DIY level.
In the tutorial, we'll do some tutorials for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's close this out with talking about what's happened at the end of the year, something that we're all really super duper excited about.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
There's
not anything that I'm
Episode
anticipating.
8, The Last Jedi.
I think I waited 40 years for this one.
This looks really good. So,
Man.
okay, let's put everything on the table. You guys liked The Force Awakens, right?
Yes, I loved it.
I thought it was great.
I
loved it. There are always some little things that you don't like.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk for another hour if we like.
For a reboot, cool. It was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Now, how are your feelings going into Star Wars Episode 8: The Last Jedi compared to how you thought?
Dude, I think Rian Johnson's gonna kill it, man. Like he did good with Looper. So you kind of get a sense of he's got a really good style for sci-fi, and imagine what he does with the Star Wars universe. Like this is going to be phenomenal. Like the trailers look good, the visuals look amazing, the whole planet with the red, and then it's so cool. There's so many.
I'm very nervous for this movie.
You are. So that means it's going to be good because Anton's nervous.
I'm very, very nervous. I'm so scared that he might fuck it up because I don't want him to fuck up.
I don't think he's going to fuck it up.
I don't think he is either.
Even Kathleen Kennedy has high.
You know what? I'm more confident on this one being better. Being good than I do Justice League. Yeah. I feel that much more confident.
Well, first of all, look at what Kathleen Kennedy has been doing. She's been firing directors left and right, and she's been doing nothing.
One on her left and one on her right.
There's been no bad rumors about Episode 8, except for Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill coming out and saying that the character that he was portraying is not how he wanted Luke Skywalker to be at this point in time.
That doesn't mean anything.
But because Mark Hamill, he's a proud guy. He's been playing this character since the fucking 70s, and maybe it's because he felt like Luke Skywalker ended on a good note in the original sequels, and he thought it's going to be a happily ever after story, and now it kind of seems like he's making a change, but it's more about the filmmakers wanting to do that. And I think it was just him clashing with them rather than like it's not good.
Some creative differences.
Yeah, that's not good.
I do see that, and like I can understand where he's coming from.
Yeah,
especially when you have this character where it's like, man, like I defeated the Emperor, like I won. Yeah. And then you give me nothing in misery. It's like I could see that, but
he made me an old hermit.
But it makes it such a way better story, though. Like story-wise, you have to, man.
Yeah, because you can't continue it without doing something. Mm-hmm. It has to not be happily ever after.
Can't be, man. Those stories aren't fun because nobody identifies with that.
And it's kind of cool too because now we're starting to see that in Episode 8, which is the second movie of the new trilogy, and usually the second acts are always the darkest. And that's what I'm really excited about. It feels like we're going to get some really cool, dramatic, and fun. I don't think this movie is going to be dark. I think there's going to be a lot of fun stuff in there.
How long is this movie? I want it to be 5 hours long.
They're saying it's the longest Star Wars movie so far. I think it's 2.5 hours.
Nice.
I want it to be 5 hours.
Oh man, I'd sit through it
with an intermission.
I'd sit
just a little tiny 2-minute intermission and go take a leak and come right back.
Yeah,
that would be really cool. But I think it's going to be fun. Although I will say the only thing I'm nervous about is it maybe following the same type of story points as Empire. As Empire. Only because we did see those cool guerrilla Imperial walkers, and it very reminiscent how Empire started off.
You think that's a beginning battle or that's an ending battle?
I would say it's probably an ending battle. But if it's the beginning battle, they're fucked because that's straight.
But to see Finn going to town with Captain
Phasma,
oh
man, that's gonna be cool. That's the
battle we've been waiting for so long.
Dude,
I hope
finally,
that's a really
Captain
good battle.
Phasma's doing something.
Yeah.
In this movie.
I will say I really, really want a badass Luke Skywalker lightsaber battle.
Yeah. We're gonna get one.
If we get that,
we're getting it.
We haven't seen a single Benicio del Toro footage.
Good.
That's the question: is who the hell is he?
Who the hell is that motherfucker?
Benicio del Toro is such a good villain, man. He's so good.
I heard he's kind of like a bad good guy.
Oh, no.
Could it be like he's the one he's gonna be the one that's gonna end up training
save
Rey?
everybody?
I don't know.
Training her?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think he'd be a
Like when she's like saying, "I need somebody to show me my place," and it's actually Benicio del Toro there.
I think honestly, you know what I think it is. All right, let's talk a little bit. Dan, you saw that trailer that was supposed to be spoilery, right? Yeah. You saw it, and it's very controversial. So we're gonna talk about that.
You ended up watching it, right?
I watched it.
I've
watched all the trailers. So
I gotta have my fix, man.
Yeah,
I cannot not have my
I was
Star
just
Wars.
watching Game 7 of the freaking finals.
So if you guys are listening to this, if you guys are listening to this and you're purposefully not trying to watch any of the trailers, just mute this part or fast forward a little bit. But we're going to be talking about some of those things.
Just real quick.
So it ends. The trailer ends with us making it feel like Rey is going to join the dark side with Kylo, but it could be misdirection. It could be Kylo Ren is holding his hand out to somebody else. She's talking to somebody else. But even if it's not, even if it's the same, like he's holding his hand out to her. The context of what went on in the scene, we still don't know. Yeah. It could be that Kylo Ren is like, fuck the dark side.
Yeah, he could have changed.
And Rey is just like, fuck the Jedi. And so maybe they want to create their own thing. It's like, I need somebody to show me my place in all of this.
The gray.
Or it could be two different scenes.
Remember that? The gray side.
Because they said that there's going to be a drastic change. And so I think those two are going to be the beginning part of that change. So I don't think they're going to do the dark side and the light side forever.
But why would the light side be bad? Like they got to find a good reason why the light side.
No, because I heard.
Remember what I said yesterday? They're going to Game of Thrones it. Like
yeah.
Cersei and fucking Jaime and like Rey and fucking Kylo go at.
But
you mean them going at it?
Here's what I heard is that like, all right, we've seen the Force tree in the trailers. And we've seen like all the books that are inside. And apparently what I heard is that Luke Skywalker went back there, obviously, to read up on all these old Jedi books. And he found flaws in the Jedi style of thinking. Like just the way that they are is not very good. Their beliefs or something was based off of bad shit. Or I don't know. It's very intriguing to find the bad part of the light.
The whole Jedi way of thinking is always wrong, dude. Like if you watch the Clone Wars, not sure if you guys it's like the freaking longest fucking series. Like the way the Jedi handles things is very by the book, and it's too by the book that they always lose. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like the fucking dark side is always one up them. You know what I'm saying? Like they can never.
Well, that's why you talk about the balance of the Force. You can never just completely defeat one side.
Can't win out.
That's why they always talk about the balance. Sometimes the light is overpowering. Sometimes the darkness is overpowering, and it just goes back and forth. You know what I mean? It's just like, why can't they just get together?
I do know what you mean.
And maybe what it is that here's what I hope it is.
What is it?
I think that I hope that this trilogy may be the last one. And
it's not.
It's not going to be. It's not going to be.
No, Kathleen Kennedy said she wants to explore other Star Wars stories.
Other Star Wars stories.
They already said though that they already have more Star Wars movies even in this universe for the next 10 years.
Well, look at all the big things that they've been trying to do with the other Star Wars movies. It's always like we built fucking the Death Star or Star Killer base to take out planets. What if they try to actually just take out an entire solar system and kill the Force? And in doing that, creates the Big Bang that our universe is created, and that's how Earth gets started. Wouldn't that be fucking crazy?
Because it's a long time ago.
Yeah, in a galaxy far, far away. What if them destroying the Force somehow created the Big Bang?
You don't want to battle Stargalactica.
No. But it's just cool to think about that, because that is one of the things I've always wondered in the Star Wars universe. Where is Earth, and at what point in Earth's history is all these stories taking place? Is it during the dinosaur times? Is it during the caveman times? Like, when does this take place in Earth's history? That's something I've always wondered about.
Far away, so like it should be far away.
Yeah, it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So it's always far away. I just want to know at what point in Earth's history is the Star Wars
How long
story.
ago and how far away?
Exactly. But have you guys ever wondered that? Like, what if the Millennium Falcon is like, hey, we need to hide from the Empire, from this solar system. Look, this planet Earth. Like, at what point?
You know what I'm wondering?
And he lands at Marty McFly's house.
Is there any like girl Wookiees? I haven't seen a girl Wookiee.
Yeah, they're.
Oh wait, I've seen some girl Wookiee. I think
they have fake eyelashes. It distinguishes
in the animated series. They may be in Rebels.
They're the ones with the lipsticks. They're always Snapchatting.
They're the ones that pout.
Doing herbal essences.
Yeah, exactly. They got the beautiful, gorgeous hair.
All shiny. The golden Wookiee.
The golden Wookiee.
So. I mean, obviously, this looks to be, it's going to be one of the best Star Wars movies ever made. It's looking like that. That's why Anton's nervous. But everybody has their own thoughts of something that they need in a sequel that to sell it to them. So, Dan, let me ask you, what is it that The Last Jedi needs to have in it for you to get an absolute movie boner? One element or one type of scene or one type of character? Just what is it that you really hope is in this movie?
Okay, so if they go bold with it, like if they tease or they start to show Rey going evil, even if she comes back at the light side in the third one or the ninth one, I guess, that would be so badass. And I'd give it so much respect if they make her go evil at the end of this one. And again, they could bring her back to the light side in the next one. But if they did that with this one, that's freaking bold.
Okay, cool. So that's what you want. You want Rey to go to the dark side.
Yeah.
And not even go evil. Just go to the dark side.
Just tease it, and you start teasing it a little bit. Like, you see her going a little dark.
What about you, Anton? What do you need?
I want Luke to have a Darth Vader moment, like in Rogue One.
Oh, just wait. A bad, like, dark side moment? Or just, like the bad, like, the lightsaber?
Similar moment. People. Like, you see, like, everything's in despair, and, like, fucking... everything's going wrong, and you see a fucking green lightsaber come out.
Oh, man. That would be so rad.
That gotta give me goosebumps.
Dude, that's giving me goosebumps.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree with you. I really
and everybody thought that he doesn't fight anymore, and just like...
a badass Luke Skywalker lightsaber scene, because...
And I want it to be longer. Like 2 minutes.
We've been hearing rumors about what's going to be in this movie for a long time, and I heard about a trailer that got... not leaked, that somebody saw. I mean, because these movies always make multiple type of trailers, and I heard that one in particular was really cool, and it showed like all the stormtroopers running down some type of alleyway similar to Jeddah in Rogue One, and they're running past Captain Phasma, and Captain Phasma's like, "What are you running around? Where are you going?" It's like, and the other stormtroopers are like, "It's the Jedi!" And then there's a close up on Phasma's like chrome helmet, and then you just hear and you see the green lightsaber. It goes whoom, and then I was like, "Oh!" And that's how that test trailer ended, and I'm like, "Oh man, if we fucking get that, that's gonna be fucking." I know, dude.
That'd be so bad.
I really want a badass Luke Skywalker lightsaber.
It's got to be that green
using
lightsaber,
the Force,
man.
And just fucking
that green lightsaber.
Make him
by
look
far,
badass, because he wasn't as badass.
No.
Yeah.
Like any.
No, but like that green lightsaber
you know
is my favorite lightsaber out of the entire Star
I
Wars
love the
universe.
But in the poster, he is using the blue one.
Yeah, and I don't want that. I want to see him with the green.
Because we haven't seen the green one in a long time. I just want to see the green one.
It's so funny because you're more surprised that you see the original Anakin Skywalker lightsaber, the blue one, than because his fucking hand got chopped off and it disappeared forever. But they never said that Luke Skywalker ever lost his green lightsaber, so he would still have it.
Technically, he should, unless if he lost it in battle or something. What I
think he cuts his other hand.
But that blue lightsaber, that's Anakin Skywalker's. In the prequels, that wasn't significant to him. That lightsaber was nothing. Remember, he kept losing them, and even made the joke when he was talking to Padme about, don't tell, Obi-Wan's going to get mad at me again.
Another lightsaber.
Exactly. And it's
Kyber crystals aren't easy to come by.
Yeah,
but that was passed on, though.
But they didn't make that lightsaber seem any kind of significant, though.
It's trash.
Yeah, they didn't make it sound any kind of significant, though. That specific lightsaber.
It's almost like in episode 4 when you first see that lightsaber. It's like, if all I wanted you to have this.
Yeah, but he didn't. You fucking chopped him up. You left him on the side of a volcano to get melted, and you just ganked that lightsaber. He didn't pass it down.
They made it significant in The Force Awakens because that's a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Force Awakens they did.
Because
in the prequels,
it was a relic.
They didn't.
It was a relic directly related to Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, but
because Kylo wanted that lightsaber.
Yeah.
I love the fact that that's a storyline, but like the prequels don't make it like that at all.
They don't make it like that lightsaber was significant.
The millennials.
The millennials.
Those are the best.
Yeah, man.
George Lucas is
They're not bad. They're part of the whole.
Okay.
Darth Maul was dope. I really love Darth Maul.
If you think about it episode by episode, it's really like not as solid.
No, the first one's terrible though.
Think of the 1, 2, 3 as one big movie.
2 and 3. No, it is, but like what I hated was
except for the sand scene.
Do you remember in the first one when Anakin's talking to Padme and he's like, "Are you an angel?" It's like, "What? They got Catholicism now at Tatooine? Like, how the hell do they know about angels and God and stuff?"
Well, then you can make fun of Empire Strikes Back because Han Solo says, "Then I'll see you in hell." Well, then they believe in
anything
hell.
Han Solo says is fine.
Well, it's okay. It's okay.
That's okay. I'm going to look past that glaring plot
so
hole.
needs for episode 8. Dan is saying the Rey goes to the dark side, and Anton wants a badass Luke Skywalker
Luke
lightsaber.
moment.
What does Kev want?
I'm right there with Anton.
What if we get everything
I know,
we wanted?
but I'm like, I'm right there with you. But what I really want, what I truly want, is Ghost Obi-Wan. Force Ghost Obi-Wan. I want Sir Alec Guinness Ghost. You can fucking
I think these are the top 3 things that I really want now.
Yeah.
I want mine first. I might want yours second and Dan's third.
Well, like Yoda is so easy to do because I heard that Frank Oz was reported on set and that there was a puppet on set that Frank Oz was using. And so I have a feeling it might be. And it was when they were filming at Ock 2. So I have a feeling that
I'm still worried about because you remember in Star Wars Celebration, it's 40-year anniversary. The only person that's not invited in that 40th celebration is Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor.
There might be saving something because of surprise for that.
Well, I'd be cool if they mixed with the ages of Obi-Wan when he comes back as a ghost. If it starts off as Sir Alec Guinness and he sees Rey and then he just transforms into Ewan McGregor.
I just feel like I've seen so much of Obi-Wan already. Like I don't need to keep seeing him in every single movie. Like I kind of want to
you gotta have some
the
Obi-Wan.
new character like. The Force Awakens was awesome because you had old with new. Now that it's the new movie, like go with the new characters. Like let's explore this new franchise.
Oh, you want something to explore?
Yes.
Adam Driver said on GQ magazine that Rey is a princess.
She's a princess.
Yeah.
She's a princess of what?
But he could.
Who is royalty though?
Maybe Leia had a different baby daddy.
Who is royalty? That means it's all Amidala's heir.
It's definitely intriguing, but he could just be saying that as a reference to like the type of character that she was playing, like how Princess Leia was.
Or maybe she's like a diva and she's kind of a diva on set.
Yeah,
she's a princess.
She's a princess.
But
no,
I mean,
no, not poor.
Episode 8 looks amazing. It looks like it could be my favorite.
We could talk
new
about
Star
this for
Wars
hours.
I know we really could, but we've already been talking for almost an hour and a half, and so I think it's time to start closing it out. Do you guys have any final thoughts on Star Wars Episode 8? Come on, Dan.
One final thought? No, because I have so many thoughts.
No, you can have one final thought, or you can just say no.
My final thought is that I don't want to watch any more teasers or trailers. I'm ready to go, but I feel so confident in this movie that I think it's going to be, I'm going to call it probably top 3 best Star Wars movies. It's going to be somewhere in the top 3.
Absolutely.
For sure.
That's what I think. What about you, Anton?
Well, what are your top 3 best Star Wars movies?
Empire all day.
Empire is my favorite.
Then A New Hope. And then I would go maybe Force Awakens, if not, oh man,
it's hard, man. We could do an entire podcast about your top 3.
For sure, 5 and 4.
Well, let's do that another. Watch out for another podcast when we talk about all the
Anton, you have anything else to say about Episode 8, Last Jedi?
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you, and may the Force be with our listeners. We'd just like to say thank you guys.
If we have one.
Yeah, if we have at least one. Thank you guys for listening to our show. We're about wrapping it up right here. If, like I said before, if you guys are listening to us on iTunes or SoundCloud, don't forget to go over to our YouTube page and say what's up. See some of our videos.
Just type 2 Hi McFly.
2 Hi McFly.
Leave some comments. Tell us what's up.
Yeah. And also, like, if you guys are also interested in filmmaking and you guys, like, just want some tips or any questions about it or thoughts or anything, hit us up on the 2 Hi McFly Twitter. And what's our call to that? That's at 2 Hi McFly Productions, right, Dan? Mm-hmm. That's our Twitter. You guys can ask us any questions on there, and we'll answer them here on the podcast.
At 2 Hi McFly, not 2 Hi McFly.
No, it's just at 2 Hi McFly.
Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yeah, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook is at 2 Hi McFly. Hit us up on any of those with any questions that you guys have about filmmaking or just our thoughts on movies, and we'll answer them here on the show.
Recommendation on topics.
And also, if you have...
And if you just want to troll us.
We'll troll you back.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Let's try to hold back on the trolling, but
And also, if you
fun.
if you are a filmmaker and you have a short film and you want us to watch it and maybe critique it or highlight it, just send it our way. Just hit us up.
We're not going to critique. It's going to be constructive criticism.
Construction.
We're going to give you some construction
Construction
feedback is what it's going to be. Because if it's
Yes.
yeah.
So yeah, just hit us up on Twitter and YouTube, and we'll hit you back. And keep your eyes out for our new show coming out on the YouTube channel, where it's gonna be a multi-segment show. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be us on camera and us doing the podcast and everything else.
So you get to hear our sexy voices and see our sexy faces.
That's right. So final thoughts, man. Just like, hey, if you guys just like movies, just keep watching. If you guys want to make movies, just turn it on and just go. Just pick up your smartphone or your camera. Don't think too much. Just press start, record, just make something. Just be creative. Have fun. Just be creative. That's all I can say.
And just at least make sure you're wearing clothes when you just hit record. Yeah. Because that shit comes out eventually.
Yeah, we don't want to see anybody's peepees.
No.
But until next time, my name is Kevin Lyons.
I'm Daniel de Sangre.
I'm Anton.
And we'll see you guys next time, or you guys will hear us next time on the podcast. We'll see you guys on the YouTube channel. Whoop. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening.